A meeting between hostages and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu turned tense after the group demanded Netanyahu do more to free those still being held captive in Gaza. More than 100 people were freed during the 7-day truce agreement, but another 137 hostages remain. According to leaked audio recordings verified by NBC News with a participant inside the meeting, some of those who were freed by Hamas shared their stories with Netanyahu on Tuesday. One woman who was freed with her children explained her husband is still in captivity, saying, quote, "My husband was separated from us 3 days before we returned to Israel and was taken to the tunnels. And you're talking about flooding the tunnels with seawater," she said. "You are bombing tunnel routes exactly where they are located. My daughters ask me where their father is, and I have to tell them the bad guys still don't want to release him," end quote. Another woman blamed Netanyahu for prioritizing the defeat of Hamas over the release of captives, saying, quote, "It's illogical that Hamas comes before us." Netanyahu apparently told the group Hamas is the reason the truce ended, saying if he could bring everyone home, he would. But that's not a possibility right now. Joining us now here in studio, Ronen and Orna Neutra. Their 22-year-old son, Omer, was taken hostages by Hamas on October 7th. Omer, the grandson of Holocaust survivors, was serving as a tank commander in southern Israel when Hamas attacked. Also with us for the conversation, CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt. Mr. and Mrs. Neutra, thank you for being here this morning. Have you heard anything about the status, the whereabouts of your son since October 7th?
No, unfortunately, since the attack and some videos that surfaced right after showing that Omer and his teammates were taken in relatively good condition, we haven't heard anything. We don't know his medical condition. We don't know his whereabouts. We haven't heard anything for 62 days.
And Orna, we should underline, you all are American. You live in New York.
Yeah.
Your son was raised out on Long Island,
That's
moved
true.
to Israel after high school.
Yeah.
Was a star athlete, it sounds like, in high school, like a classic American kid.
Yes.
Tell us more about your son.
So, Omer was born 1 month after 9/11. I worked in the city on that day. I was very pregnant, and I clearly remember walking on the Queensboro Bridge by foot because there was no transportation to get out of here, not believing that this is happening on U.S. soil, right? So it's just insane to me to think that this is what we're going through now again. I just can't believe this. He was born here. He grew up on Long Island, part of the community, very loved sports, all kinds of sports, participated in sports, fantasy leagues, all of it. Very involved in his youth group, following, the track of American typical kids. He got accepted into Binghamton. And then, he's also a dual citizen. We're both dual citizens, so we have a big family in Israel. And he wanted to take a year before he went to college and get to know the family, learn about the people. So he went on an educational program, and that's what he did. They really got close to different communities. They volunteered. They studied together. And he got very close to his Israeli peer group, and they have to serve, right? It's part of, unfortunately, the reality in Israel. And he felt that he had to do his share.
So he volunteered and
Yeah.
became a lone soldier. It was difficult for us being away, but he was committed to defend the Jewish country and do his share.
And the last time you talked to him was the night before the attack, right?
Yeah, we spoke to him the night before. He seemed fairly relaxed. For some reason, they were under the impression that it was going to be a calm weekend, which, of course, did not happen, as we all know.
Jonathan, here's like an all-American kid from Long Island. He's going to go to school in Binghamton. Knicks fan. I mean, anybody watching out on Long Island, this is your son.
Yeah.
Right? This is your daughter. This is your child. Very interesting. Hamas wants to promote a lot of things. Wants to scare the hell out of a lot of people. The one thing Hamas doesn't really want to get out there is there are still 8 United States citizens held in captivity. Let me say that again for people that are on college campuses talking about the glories of Hamas and talking about from the river to the sea. There are 8 Americans that are still being held in captivity. And I've just got to say, if I'm in the administration, I'm letting Qatar know, our allies in Qatar know, we're watching. We're watching. You fund these people? Let me tell you something. You need to get those 8 Americans home. You need to get them home safely, because this is not about Israel and Hamas. This is about the United States of America and Qatar. Get them home. Because, again, Hamas doesn't want it out there. 8 Americans.
100%.
They're holding our people.
Hamas murdered Americans on that day. They raped, they tortured, and they mutilated Americans. Hamas has kidnapped and sexually brutalized Americans. There is a straight line from 9/11 to October 7, and we shouldn't forget it. This isn't just Israel's fight. This is all of our fight. Omer is your son, and he's my son too, because I'm the father of 3 boys, and you better believe I would move heaven on earth to get them home. And yet, like you said, Joe, these feckless college students and the administrators. So yesterday at Columbia University, there was a teach-in at the School of Social Work on the, quote, counteroffensive on October the 7th. The only thing offensive about that is what they called the worst massacre of Jews since the Holocaust. Now, the administration canceled it. The students still did it. So, here's my question. Why have no students been suspended? How do these college presidents go to Washington and can't answer a simple question about a call to genocide? How have none of them been fired? I don't understand how this is allowed when, again, these were Jews who were murdered because they were Jews. These were, and by the way, not just Jews. Israeli Arabs were murdered and kidnapped on that day. Christians were kidnapped and murdered on that day. Americans and British and French. Hamas isn't just Israel's enemy. It's not just America's enemy. It's all of our enemy. Period. End of story.
What would you like our leaders on both sides of Pennsylvania Avenue, college presidents, students, people that are in the middle of this debate, what would you like them to know about your boy?
Well, first of all, it's all about severe ignorance in this country. People don't know the facts. They watch a 30-second TikTok video and they think they know the history of the Middle East. Get your facts right. Study, dig in, and figure out what's going on. And like you said, I don't know how many people realize there's still 130 hostages down there, a lot of them in dire medical conditions. We're really, really afraid of people dying as we speak. There are 8 American hostages that we urge the administration to bring back. We urge the administration to put pressure on Israel to negotiate and make a deal and bring all the 130 hostages back. It's time. It's 62 days. People are dying. There's no time.
Orna, you both went to Washington, spoke before Congress. You spoke to officials of the Biden administration. Are you confident, you can never be satisfied, of course, in this circumstance, but are you confident that the administration is doing everything it can to get your son and the other hostages home?
Listen, we've been assured that they are, but we're not seeing results, and results are what counts. It's 62 days in. We don't have any sign of life. We met with the ICRC. They're helpless. We need our son back.
How come there was an agreement that the Red Cross can get in and figure out their medical conditions and give us proof of life? And that didn't happen. Hamas blocked them in. We got to have the Red Cross in. We got to get sign of life, and we got to bring the hostages home. Period.
And
It's
we're
time.
here to talk about it, right? That's why we're doing this, right? There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of lack of knowledge. Some things are starting to come out about October 7th. There's some world interest finally. And we have to remember that our son, 8 American hostages, more, some were released already, 138 still held captive by Hamas underground somewhere. This is all October 7th. We're still there.
Do people realize this? That the International Red Cross has not been allowed in? Like, do people, these human rights activists, look, I deplore the violence in Gaza, and my heart breaks for every civilian who gets killed. But, like, where is Human Rights Watch? Where is IRC? And where the hell is the International Red Cross? They should be on television every day saying, if we want a ceasefire, and the first thing that needs to happen to enable a ceasefire is for the hostages to come home. I don't understand why people don't get this basic fact. Hostages come home, and this can end. Hostages stay under Gaza, and this will go on and on and on. It just reminds us, Joe, Hamas doesn't fight for the Palestinians. Hamas, they only fight for themselves. They don't want a Palestinian state. They want to simply destroy the Jewish one. That's their goal.